In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to get your pantry set up for success, clean, wholesome, and gluten-free. Now, if you're not gluten-free, you definitely want to stick around because I'll be talking about other stuff as well. And if you are on a gluten-free diet, we'll be talking about gluten-free flour alternatives and some ingredients that you really want to be mindful of when you're starting on a gluten-free diet. In previous videos, I've given you a tour of my pantry as well as my fridge and talked about the different foods I stock in them. And we also talked about some ingredients you should look out for. Today I wanted to do a deep dive and just elaborate some more on these ingredients. So before we begin, I just wanted to let you all know that I now have a pantry detox guide available for purchase. It is something that has the contents of this video plus more. If you like organizing, then you'll love this Pantry Detox ebook, where I literally help you purge out your pantry and restock it. There's some label reading and a healthy produce list, and even what to look out for when it comes to your skincare and home cleaning products. You can purchase it through the link in the description box, so I'll definitely leave it down there and you can have a look. Alright, so let's just dive right in. I'm going to start with my flours. There are so many different flours that you can use instead of wheat, barley, rye, and kamut. These are the 4 flours or 4 grains that contain gluten. The 2 most commonly used flours in my home are the almond flour and the gram or chickpea flour, also called besan. So besan I use mostly for thickening my curry or thickening my cow soy curry, and that recipe is on my website, so you definitely want to go check that out. And I also use besan for fritters or pakoras. And then I have the almond flour that I use to bake with. We make cookies and cakes and breads, and these are the 2 most commonly used flours in my pantry. But then you have your buckwheat flour, you have your tapioca flour, arrowroot flour, cassava flour is something I'm using a lot for making flatbreads. You have your sorghum flour, and there's so many different options. And because so many people are going gluten-free, there's a lot of experimentation with these different flours. So I definitely would recommend that you try those out. When you buy gluten-free products at the grocery store, there are a few things to keep in mind. Often, these products are made of refined starches and grains like tapioca flour and potato starch, and you'll see this mostly in breads and crackers. These aren't ideal when you're eating clean because they spike up your blood glucose level and cause inflammation in your body. They're certainly not ideal when you're trying to lose weight, as they are refined and converted to sugar in your body. Alright, next up we have our nuts and seeds. Nuts are a great source of healthy fats. So I tend to use more of the almonds and walnuts, cashews as well. I snack on them, I make granola, I'll put them on my salads and use them to make nut milk as well. Here you want to look out for how they've been roasted. Often it is in oils that are highly processed and cheap, like sunflower and soybean oil. And there's a fair amount of salt in the salted variety. Try and get the unsalted kind when you can. The best thing to do would be to get yours raw and roast them yourself. With nuts and seeds, it is also good practice to store extra away in the fridge or freezer if you're not going to use them right away, as they tend to go rancid. So ever since I've started eating cleaner, I try to avoid table sugar as much as I can, because table sugar is highly processed and stripped of its components except for sucrose. Now sucrose in a concentrated amount is what spikes your blood sugar and just causes inflammation in your body. It is also known that sugar is highly addictive and we tend to eat more of it than we should be eating. Instead, I like to use honey.
Get raw local honey to get the maximum benefit, and remember that a lot of the honey out there is cut with sugar, so be mindful when purchasing it. Coconut sugar is sugar that has been extracted from the sap of the coconut plant and dried to give this brown, caramelly, grainy sweetener. It is higher in nutrients than table sugar. Raw cane sugar, maple syrup, dates, and date sugar. I use them all. Some I bake with and others I'll use to sweeten beverages with. But please know that moderation is key here, as with table sugar.
Avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, ghee, butter, sesame oil. These are all great to cook with. Some I use in high heat cooking for curries, and others I'll use for sauteing or to make salad dressings.
The conventional oils available out there like vegetable, corn, soybean, and canola oils are mostly made with GMO crops and highly processed and hydrogenated. Many are high in omega-6 fats, which leads to inflammation in the body, so you want to steer clear of those as well.
Alright, as for grains, we have our oats that we use a lot of. We make granola bites, and you can get the recipe on my website. I'll put the link in the description box below. Make sure you get your oats gluten-free because they can be cross-contaminated as they're processed in the same plants and assembly lines, so there can be some cross-contamination. Just make sure you get the gluten-free variety. And I tend to purchase the rolled whole grain oats. So as far as lentils and beans are concerned, we cook a lot of the red masoor dal or the red lentil. I make dal as it's a staple in South Asian cuisine, and we often have it with rice or a curry. And then I make a lot of the chickpea or garbanzo bean as well. So you want to be mindful of the ingredients in your gluten-free pasta as well. I am using a lot more of the red lentil pasta. Some pastas have xanthan gum or tapioca starch for texture, but just be mindful and read your labels when going out to purchase pasta as well.
Almond butter, cashew butter, tahini, pumpkin seed butter. The options again are endless. You can buy these at the grocery store, but make sure there are no added sugars and bad oils in there.
So because I'm dairy free as well, I tend to use a lot more of almond, cashew, and coconut milk. But if you're not dairy free and you tend to have digestive issues, another milk that I've discovered recently is the A2 milk. And this milk is taken from cows that just have the A2 protein, because research has shown that the A1 milk protein can be problematic for some. But of course, if you're lactose intolerant or allergic to milk, you want to be careful of this as well.
As a rule of thumb, get your spices whole and grind them yourself. The table salt is as refined as the table sugar, stripped of its mineral content and bleached. Healthier options to get is the Himalayan pink salt, Celtic sea salt, and real salt, which is an unrefined sea salt mined in the US.
So as far as canned goods are concerned, I like to stock my pantry with the garbanzo beans, like I mentioned earlier, and some black beans. I want to make sure that the cans are BPA free. And I also purchase my coconut milk and some tomato sauce as well. Alright, so there you have it, my list of pantry essentials for a clean eating, gluten-free kitchen. I hope that this video helped. I would greatly appreciate you sharing this video, liking, subscribing. Let me know in the comments down below what you found helpful and what your pantry essentials are. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.